Here tonight, KCAL 9 here and Sunday night, games 3 and 4. Starting it off, here's Devin Ebanks rising from the outside and knocking down over the last couple of games here in the playoffs. Great footwork, speed, lift, and leadership, as Mike Trudell said. Powell, that is cash.
Powell, you think, well, I'm taking the middle away from him, but Powell likes that turnaround jump shot, especially when he's got a height advantage. He doesn't have to worry that much.
And a sense of urgency for Denver. They have not played a couple of good first quarters. In fact, they've been very poor.
Giving the shot to Ebanks is much better than giving it to Andrew in the post.
Bounce to Mozgov, who's got some decent moves in the paint, but not good enough for Andrew, who swats it away. Fareed, no, and Bynum's got the rebound. Ebanks now posting as Bryant with Afflalo, who's expended a lot of energy. Oh, great pass underneath. Give the assist. There's shot Ills.
Well, he knocks down this three-point basket there, gives them a 2-point lead, and that's something that the Lakers have to make sure. The right idea, should have bounced it, but he didn't, and it was a turnover. To pass some Sessions to Powell was perfect. That's the one.
Got to run. We've got a rebound. We've got to guard the two bigs. And I'm not talking about big as size. I'm talking about Kobe and Bynum. As Kobe, he knocks it down. And
Kobe puts the pass into the post. The Lakers with 5:15 to play have Kobe assisting, Kobe scoring, and the Lakers and the Nuggets are tied at 12.
It's Barnes, Blake, Bynum, Gasol, and Bryant. 5 on the floor for the purple and gold. And Kobe over JaVale McGee. He is hurting, but he still hit it from the outside. And the route is on. 38-14. Barnes finally. Ramon was among the leaders in the regular season in the NBA three-point percentage. That's good pass. Interior. And Powell, look out.
Decision by Powell, or else he'd be eating leather for a long ways.
Well, again, up here is Pau Gasol. He takes it. Now here's Ramon. Oh, he blows out himself. He'll score. Count.
Not closing the door. They had a chance there with Harrington to step over, but he just kept the door open. And Sessions walked right through the door, scores, gets fouled, goes to the line for a possible three-point play.
Ramon.
Style of play, and that's executing in the half court and everybody running back defensively.
And we'll see if they can get some production from the bench. It's missed, and Powell has the rebound to Ramon. Hooks it for Barnes. Oh, he's very active, energized.
Some tell you that no big deal.
Now here's Blake. He drives the base, kick, drive and kick. Kobe for 3. Yes, sir!
Make sure that at least get an attempt.
This Nugget defense in the bottom 10 of most NBA defensive categories. Kobe from the outside. Laker points, Stu.
They've got to get a little bit more balance in the Lakers scoring, but it's good to see Kobe doing what he's been doing to the Nuggets in the first 2 games at least, as he's, as you mentioned, the last 8 points for the Lakers. He's got 14 overall on 50% shooting, but they need some production offensively.
Tonight they did it well early on. Ball on the perimeter for the Lakers. Cutting is Ramon Sessions. He's got McGee right in front, so he altered that shot, but he still scored. Here's Bynum in trouble, almost traveled. Now Blake, kick it to Powell, underneath, one-on-one with McGee, goes up and under to beat him. Although his offense has suffered because of the defensive energy he's been expending, Lawson misses, so some good signs here in the early going. Powell underneath, look out! Within himself, that's been a key, not trying to do too much when he's in there. He knows his role. Again, Andrew, although he got it well away from the basket.
It's his first scratch of the ball game, going aggressive, using the left, bringing the Lakers to within 10. Possession for the Lakers. Powell came up with a shot that was well short. Sessions with, that's the way you finish. That's the way you finish, Ramon.
And see if he gets going again. How about Sessions going hard to the hole?
Well, he knows there's going to be an attempt at the shot block by Fareed, so surprises him a little bit by just hammering one. If you're going to attack.
So Mozgov has this one on. Kobe out, leaped him, and the Lakers are going to get it with Sessions. With 3 on the clock, Kobe for 3, got it! So
Lawson tried to change up, but Kobe gets the tip, and then with the shot clock, a major issue, knocks down the triple, and that brings the Lakers to within.
Lakers up 2-0 in this series. This is game 3. Spin by Afflalo, blocked from behind by Ebanks. First round pick with Indy, he was with them twice. Here is Bynum. Again, they're going into the big fella. Turnaround baseline, and Andrews feeling. Here's Bryant. Working with Afflalo, coming from behind is Lawson, spin by Kobe. Lob under to Andrew, behind the back, counted, foul!
Knowing that JaVale McGee was probably going to try to get the block, throws it up to Andrew, and what concentration by the big fella. Off the glass, a possible three-point play as he was fouled on the play. Nice job by
There's
Lawson.
Lawson all the way, put it up and in. You gotta get back. I know it's easier said than done. Now it's Andrew and Powell. Powell down the middle, he goes, look out. Optimal to get it to single digits at the end of the quarter. Got 4.5 to go. Lawson is just going to the rack every time. Blocked from behind by Barnes, and then
There's 5 defenders on the floor. A second defender has to be in a position to give some kind of support. That time Matt Barnes did, and then in his haste to get it back, Lawson picked up the foul.
again, Denver now out of fouls with 4:19. He was alone, but he's going to attack the basket. Here goes Kobe, can't score. Oh, he was all alone underneath, but he'll get the rebound again. Crowd on that end thought he was on the line. Andrew underneath, count it, foul. Another three-point opportunity for Bynum.
Kind of double clutched it a bit and missed, then threw it on the inside, and Andrew just overpowering as McGee tried to purposely foul Andrew, but he
And
didn't.
here comes Ramon trying to work. Oh, coming down the middle was Andrew, blocked by McGee. I thought that might have been a goaltend, but Sessions hits the...
On the last sequence, just gets the pass, thinks that JaVale McGee goaltend, which he did, but Sessions gets the ball and scores. You've got to let it go now. You can't get upset. They miss a call, so be it. Your team scores, go down and forget about that play. This
Crowd
is
is
the guy,
stunned.
though, that they have to keep out of the paint.
Yeah, there he goes, spun around by Matt Barnes, jump ball.
Nice recovery because Ty Lawson actually has a little bit of a step on him, but he stays with it, gets the ball, forces the jump.
That 1-3, shot it twice. Here's Kobe, stops in the lane, over Brewer, not there. Rebound, Bynum, he's in very deep, he puts it up and in. Threes in the game, so very close in that regard. Here is Miller, over Andrew, Bynum blocked by Andrew, taken by Kobe.
Because Andre Miller loves to shoot that mid-range jumper, but he doesn't really elevate very high, and you better elevate if you're going to shoot against Andrew. That's what led the Lakers in the transition in
3 minutes.
See if they take advantage of this situation with the fouls. Not by taking jumpers, though.
Well, he makes it at 4. Bryant with Gallinari in front of him. Kick it, corner. Powell's going to try a 3, and he hits it. Minus 22 for the Lakers. Fast break points, minus 10. Kobe underneath, throws up a wild shot.
Kobe goes baseline, basically, and then just while in the air, backhanded
Under
over
control.
the shoulder.